Hey guys, it's Artur, and I'm here to talk about Astras. So Astras, you level them up using Divine Spores. They give different effects based on their level, and they counter each other. You have contracts. This is just a basic explanation and what you use each one for. So Suzaku, the healing one, is pretty good for PvE, not so great for PvE, the reason being that other ones have negative healing received, or I guess reductions, and because of that, Suzaku suffers, or at least gets countered by them. Against somebody like Genbu, Suzaku does pretty well, Seiryuu as well, but in general, it's usually mainly used for the PvE aspect of can't die for 3 seconds, and it'll heal your monsters. It's alright, it'll give you 30 damage resist. One thing to note, the Oracle does say that it'll increase its Astra passive effect every time it is leveled up. That means all of them do that. So it says that, only Byakko has the 45 per level, but that's not true. It's just, I guess, a glitch. These definitely give more. I'll go show you right now for Genbu. If you go and fight, what is it? Which stage? The Licky Tongue. So if you fight it, you can see, I'll use Genbu. You should see a whole bunch of numbers, right? Now usually he only, 1400, 1400, 1400, but every so often you should get a tick with, oopsies, Genbu passive, which will give you a whole bunch of healing, about 300 each, right? 309. Now the reason why I'm getting 309 is because I have a level 1 Intensify, which will give me, a little bit more. But the real thing is that you start at level 0, which is 100 on Genbu, and it goes up, right? It definitely goes up. At rank 2, you have paid into it twice, so it gives 100 plus 100 plus 100, so it'd be 300 HP every 3 seconds, and then I also have a contract that increases it by 3%, so 3% of 300 is 9, that's why I'm getting 309, so it definitely does scale per level, even if it doesn't say so. Now, back to the Astras. Suzaku, great for sustain, but otherwise, not super necessary. Great for PvE though. Maxing it won't, hurt you for sure. Otherwise, Byakko is awesome for sniping. The rank 8 and is actually the most important one late game for PvE. In terms of killing Sanctity monsters. The reason being, he inflicts a minus 95% healing received for 10 seconds, which is huge, but not being able to cleanse it is even more important, because a lot of enemies late game run Sanctity, at least, the big ones that you have to deal with. For example, Elite Stage 134, right? This guy, no, but this guy, yes, right? Huge Sanctity, right? You won't be able to kill him with the amount he's healing, right? Same as this guy, or the point is, Byakko's awesome for sniping. He's probably the most powerful one for PvP as well. Kirin's up there though. I would recommend his contract as well because it's very good. Byakko's just straight up awesome. He's not the greatest for PvE. He finds his uses, but he's definitely the #1 PvP. Genbu is really good in PvE and PvP, alright, that level 2 is the most important, right, that cleanse, otherwise the rest is just kind of there, it doesn't really mean much. But yeah, the Mirror Zone cleansing is super powerful. If you can use 2 at once, I would recommend Genbu, putting him out. If you have the contract, even better. because, but you can also use it with Alacrity. If you use Alacrity or Calcify along and pop Genbu, then before your cooldown is off, or this will still be running, and if you use Suzaku as at the same time or like right after, you will get 30% increased healing on all your party from this, which is huge, right? It'll heal you a shit ton. So it's a good combo to connect these two together. Otherwise, mainly Ultimus users use Genbu because then it increases their Leech, which is awesome, and it'll protect them from silences, which is what you really need, and slows. So he's mainly a PvP guy. Seiryuu, I don't have a lot of testing with, but he's mainly a push, like a Blitz. So if you use him, make sure that you have a comp that will rush in and deal a ton of AoE damage. Single target won't cut it on this monster because single target's more reserved for grinding down their frontliners who are usually tanky. This is more for like pushing them all into a corner. Now the most important level on this guy is the 10, right? He gives you a Pseudo Leech, which will allow you to run Sanctity on your Ultimus, which means that you don't need the Genbu cleanse. You can have your Ultimus immune to silence, but also still leeching, which will, you know, give you a lot of help, as well as he speeds up your Ultimus, stops him from getting knocked back. You know, he's pretty good, honestly, and his contract is good. All right, I would not recommend Nirvana or Calcify unless you're looking to combo them. Otherwise, Finish Him is good, Unrelenting is good, Enfeeble is great. Now let's look at Kieran. Kieran increases their damage taken. He's the CC bot. He slows, he lowers their attack, defense, and move speed and hockey. He's just awesome, right? Minus healing received can make or break a comp, but his weakness is cleansing. So Enfeeble, that negative 45% move speed that can't be cleansed, is awesome. It's worth it. Otherwise, he's not incredibly overpowered, but he works very well in PvE and PvP. You'll usually use, you know, a specific composition to get by him, and if you can find that composition, usually it includes, you know, Kensei, Wingman, right, because they can't be sealed, you know, Sanctity on like all your other monsters, right? Sanctity, and Revive. The meaning behind that is basically Kieran's awesome. He's not, you know, the be all end all. You can definitely beat him. But yeah, his most important level is probably rank, you know, I would say it's rank 4 early game and then rank 10 late game plus contract. You really need that contract though. Otherwise, Highlander is good. These other ones are meh. They're alright for like PvE, but they're not really that important. Highlander is awesome for PvP because it'll just like remove their passive effects. Otherwise, Persist, not that important for PvP yet, but if they ever make Pillars of Eternity or Arena real time, then Persist will be much better. Otherwise, it's pretty much useless right now. Don't buy it. Don't waste your time. Intensify is awesome. Alright, let's think of a level 10 Intensify. If it's 3% each, that's 30% increase on a minus 11 times this. So that would be 165, 30% of that, which is almost, it's about 50, it's like 55-ish. So if you run another 55 on that, that's 220. So 220 on top of your like negative for move speed and hockey can make or break an entire fight. Like this guy only has 190 move speed, so he'll barely be moving. I think there is a cap to negative move speed, but if there is one, it's pretty slow. So it's definitely worth it to get that Intensify. Otherwise, Upsurge is really good, especially for Kieran, because if you can get Kieran to proc faster than Genbu, then Kieran will last longer, right? Because he only cleanses every 2 seconds. So if you proc a second before or something, right, then you'll get an extra second of silence. Similarly, if you proc, your minus healing before Suzaku procs their healing, right, where everybody gets healed, then they miss out on 60% of it. So Upsurge, I would very highly recommend. Alacrity is good if you're switching Ancients, or like Astras, but otherwise it's not so great. These two are PvE mostly, and these two are PvP, but the PvP ones apply in PvE, so it's just better to get these two, I would say. Finish him, awesome. Unrelenting, awesome. Unfeeble, great. Calcify is alright, but it should be changed to 2 seconds, and then it might be worth it. Where it's currently sitting, it's just not good enough. The Nirvana is alright. It should give another like 5% healing or something, but otherwise, it's okay. It just means that you don't waste your healing on people who are full health. They just get a shield instead, which is great, but what does it mean if your whole party's getting shit on and you're not getting healed enough because they have a Kirin or a Byakko? So then you're not getting the healing where it matters. Also, a little hidden passive for Suzaku is that he'll proc while in auto battle when your party is low health on 1 or 2 units. So it'll actually like fully use at least 1 unit's healing, is I think how it works. So if you need a unit at least 75% down, maybe 2 of them for it to proc. The reason why Byakko destroys Suzaku, and by like all healer units, is because that 95% healing received means that when this Daylight or a Lunaria or a Solaria tries to heal your unit, it'll be wasted, right? This will be cut down by 95%. And there's no AI to fix that, right? So you're basically, not only are you killing one of their units, but you're making their Daylight useless for like 10 seconds if you don't, which is huge, right? That's why Byakko is so powerful. Not only that, but he also increases your damage done. So that's pretty cool. I very much like Byakko and Kieran because they're good in PvP. Fuck, I wish I got a Vulcan. But otherwise, it's not that hugely important to, do for, it's not that important to get the other ones unless you're running like Ultimus or like a comp that really needs them, right? Really, it's your play style. Kirin will slow the fight down. Suzaku will extend the fight. This one, Seiryuu, will make the fight faster. It'll empower all your units to like rush them. Genbu is like, he'll protect your units while they do their job, and Byakko will kill a unit, right? Just like straight fuck them up. So that's always good. But yeah, so that's basic Astras. This is a pretty reasonable comp, but you can see lots of different comps among the end game. I mean, tribe rank or skirmish. If you look at skirmish, last week. Alright, so if you look at last week's activity, I don't know if I can look at it anymore. Never mind. But basically, there's a lot of different compositions that people use with different kind of Astras. Kirin's probably the most popular, but Byakko and Seiryuu are seen quite a bit, and Genbu even. Genbu is usually Ultimus users. Kirin is usually Kensei, with Byakko is usually Kensei. This is usually Ultimus users. And yeah, that's basically how it's been running in the meta currently. So yeah, let me know if you have any videos that you want to see or anything that you would like explaining, and I'd be happy to help. Have a great day.